Hey, what's up YouTube Nation? This is David coming back at you with another self-help video. Today we're working on a 2013 Ford Escape. We're going to be replacing the inner and outer tie rod ends. Don't have a lot of background noise today. We got some roofers over here across the street, so bear with me. I hope it'll be a good video. Let's see how it goes. Alright, first thing, jack up the vehicle. Don't forget to use your safety stand. As always, we're going to start on the right side. We're going to remove the right front tire. Okay, once you get your tire off, that's going to expose your tie rod ends. This is your outer tie rod end. This is called the jam nut. And this is the inner tie rod end. And the joint for the inner tie rod end is inside the boot, dust cover boot for the rack and pinion. So first thing is the first thing you're going to want to do is to break your jam nut free. That's a 15/16, and you're just going to move it to the left, and it's probably going to be pretty tight if it's if you're working on one that's never been done before straight from the factory. You probably have to use a hammer to hit the back of the wrench to break that free. The next step is we're going to remove the outer tie rod end from the steering knuckle, and let's see if my focus is good. I don't know if you can tell, it has an Allen key made into the threads there. In case it starts to spin, you can use a wrench, 15mm wrench, and an Allen key to hold it still. But the other side came off fine with just a 15mm socket and my impact wrench. Okay, once you get the nut off, you're going to take your hammer, and you're going to need a pretty good sized hammer, and you're going to hit it right here on the steering knuckle. You can't hit it here, it's not going to come loose. This is a wedge, and it's just wedged in there, and you're going to hit it here, and the vibrations from hitting it here is going to make it come loose. This is what the new one looks like. See how it's kind of conical shaped there, and there's a female joint shape inside here, so those are just going to wedge together. Let me see if I can show you how to hit this. Hope it's going to catch it. I just got you leaning against my jack. I always tell mechanics in training, when you hit it here, you're going to really vision in your mind that you're hitting through it. Tai Chi, I guess. And you got to give it some good whack. I missed one of the swings and bent it. That's why I did it there to knock it out. But I saw how the vibrations moved it free. Next thing we're going to do when we remove it, we're going to count how many turns, and this will minimize the wear on the tire until you can get it to the alignment shop. And just count how many turns it is coming off and write that number down. If my dad ever taught me anything, it's that the shortest pencil is longer than the longest memory. Next, you're going to remove the jam nut. That was 21 turns on that one, and I just wrote it down in the dust here on the side of the car. So remove this jam nut. And then you're going to remove this clamp, spring-loaded clamp here. Take that off, and then on the other side of the boot is another clamp. I don't know if I can get you to see that. I don't even see it. Oh yeah, there. You see that little knob that's sticking out? That's the where the clamp is cinched up. And what I do is I just take a long screwdriver and stick it in there and just break that. It's a metal banded clamp, I just stick my screwdriver in there and break it, hit it with a hammer, whatever I gotta do, and that'll give us access to this boot. Once you get that clamp broken free, just grab a hold of the boot here and just pull it. It's already pulled off that back and pinion side, and just pull the whole thing. Might need 2 hands. Yeah, I'm gonna need 2 hands. I don't know if it's gonna film this or not. And that gives us access to the inner tie rod end. I don't know if I mentioned it, I turned the steering wheel all the way to the left. That way it pushed out the tie rod end as far out this way as possible. Now there's a special tool that's used to remove this. You can see this flat spot on the tie rod end here. The tool would actually, it's a fork that kind of goes in there, and then you would, you know, it kind of sits in there like this, and it would turn it. But I left that tool in my other truck, because I do that a lot lately, so I'm just going to use a pair of locking pliers. Okay, so I got my locking pliers on there. Let's see if we can film this. I'm just going to give it a couple love taps with my hammer. See if we can break it free. Like that, it's free. Just unscrew that. There's a little plastic washer here. The new one did not come with this, so we're going to transfer that to the new piece here. And from here on out, it's just the same thing in reverse. Put this on, tighten it down. Same process with the locking pliers and hammer. Get it good and tight. And put all of our protective boot on and all that jazz. Get it as high as I can by hand, then reposition it. The tool would be much easier. Just kind of give it a few love taps. It's getting tight. Put your boot back on. This piece here, I gotta show you guys the clamp. Let me take it off here. The clamp that breaks. They sell these. It's so hard to get on in here. I rarely ever replace the metal clamps. I just go back with a nylon zip tie, and that's always seemed to work pretty good for me. And it'll go around here, and once you install it on the rack and pinion, you put a zip tie on there and pull it tight. It should never come off. Put your boot on there, your retainer. Jam nut. Outer tie rod end. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, and 21. Jam that back on. basically that's it. You just tighten everything down. And tighten your damn nut down good and tight. Tighten this down good and tight. Put the wheel back on and send it to the alignment shop. Thanks for watching, guys. If I help save any money, please like and subscribe. Let's put this wheel. Go ahead. Alright, let's go to the next one.
Woo! You're getting me hot on that.
Yeah, the socket's stuck. Hold on.